Free Japan Channel, FJC number 18. Today, 14th December 2023, Thursday, here in Yokohama. Time is 6 p.m. December 6 p.m. is dark. Outside it's dark. The night has come. This year, Japanese winter is not so cold, or rather, it is mild winter. So it's comfortable here to live this year. Dear listeners, how are you doing? How is your climate? Today's topic is Ukraine war. The theme is, will Putin win the war? Ukraine war began February 22nd. It was 2022. So this war continued for 1 year and 10 months approximately. And now Russia is in predominant position in the war. At first here in Japan, many specialists or commentators said at that time, so 2022 February, said that Russia will give in soon because the West imposes economic sanctions to Russia, and Russia cannot endure this kind of economic sanctions. So this war will end soon. It was the mainstream opinion here in Japan, and Japanese media imitate the English media, unfortunately. So the Western media was also in the line of this insistence, that is, Russia will lose the war soon. But at that time, I was always thinking that Russia will not so weak. Russia has a resilience, so to speak, robust country, and it cannot be defeated so easily because Russia has weapons, including nuclear weapons, and self-sufficiency in food, energy. Then why will Russia be defeated by Ukraine? The Western countries, including the United States, supported Ukraine war effort. So they provided many weapons, including combat planes and tanks, of course ammunition, but they didn't send any soldier to Ukraine. So in the battle, it was Ukraine soldiers who fought against Russian soldiers. The Western country, in other words, NATO countries, were also afraid of being involved in the war because they knew that Russia is a strong country because it has so many nuclear missiles. Then one of these missiles falls on the Western country, it would be catastrophe. They knew it very well from the first time then. That's why they didn't support Ukraine seriously. They gave money, they gave artillery, they gave ammunition, but not more than that, because they were afraid of Russia. And President Putin also knew the situation so calmly, and he did what he wanted to do. What he wanted to do. Historically speaking, Ukraine was for a long time a part of Russia, or Russia was derived from Ukraine. Kiev was the origin of Russia. So, in this sense, Russia and Ukraine are not separate, are not to be separated so easily. Of course, Ukraine people don't want to be with Russians. Ukraine people want to go to the West, so Western culture, Western capitalism, Western tradition, and Western consumerism. They aspire to go to the West. So Ukraine people want to enter the NATO. But geopolitically, Ukraine is not separable from Russia. It is so unfortunate fate for the Ukraine people, but we cannot change it. Ukraine's sovereignty should be respected. Of course, we should. But if Russia insists that Ukraine is their porch, is a part of their country, and they invaded, and they grabbed some of Ukraine's territory, including Crimea Peninsula. Russia would not give up these territories which they gained during this war. If the Western country insists to get back this territory forcibly, then Russia would threaten them, saying that Russia would use some of its nuclear missiles. Then none of the Western countries would say anything. Russia is a strong country in the perspective of war or military perspective. And Russia and America, these two countries can be self-sufficient in food and energy, and they can manufacture ammunition, artillery, tanks, planes. So military complexes are there in the United States and Russia. We can't defeat these two countries by any means. In fact, this is a fact which was obvious from the first. So I was thinking that the Russia would not be defeated so easily. And my prediction was right if I think back the Ukraine war. Of course, I don't want to be proud of this prediction. It is nothing. When we see the map, international map, global map, and when we know the power of each country, so power means natural resources, food production, and military manufacturing, then it was from the first evident that Russia was in the superior position. In 2024, next year, the ceasefire negotiation will be brought up in the international table, perhaps March, April, spring, I suppose. Then Russia would say that they will not concede the territories which they gained during the war. Of course, they will not concede it. And Ukraine leaders President Zelensky would have to accept it. If President Zelensky sticked to the principle that the international border before the war should be preserved, then this war would not end, and many casualties in Ukraine as well as in Russia continued. Tonight's topic is, will Putin win the war? My answer is maybe next spring. Thank you.